Jesus loved to tell stories. He used simple tales to teach big truths. One such story is the parable of the weeds. It's a story about hope, patience, and God's love for us. We find this parable in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 13. This parable takes us on a journey. Imagine a farmer sowing seeds in his field. He carefully plants good seeds, hoping for a bountiful harvest. But something unexpected happens. An enemy sneaks in and sows weeds among the wheat. This parable isn't just about farming, it's about life. It's about good and evil, right and wrong, all existing together. Just like in the field, we see this every day in our world. Jesus tells us this story to encourage us. He wants us to remember that even when we face difficulties, even when surrounded by darkness, God is still in control. He has a plan and He will make all things right in the end. The parable begins with a farmer. This farmer represents God, our loving Father. He carefully prepares his field, which represents the world we live in. With love and care, he scatters good seeds. These seeds represent the good in the world, the people who choose to follow God. The farmer longs for a bountiful harvest. He dreams of a world filled with love, joy, and peace. Just like any good farmer, he tends to his field, nurturing the seeds he has sown. He knows that growth takes time. He patiently waits for the seeds to sprout and mature. He understands that there will be challenges along the way, but he remains faithful, trusting in the goodness of his seeds. The farmer's actions remind us of God's love for us. Just as the farmer diligently tends to his field, God cares for us. He nurtures our hearts, helping us to grow and flourish. But the story takes a turn. An enemy appears. This enemy, representing the forces of evil in the world, sneaks into the field at night. While everyone sleeps, he sows weeds among the wheat. These weeds are harmful. They threaten to choke the wheat, stealing its nutrients and sunlight. The enemy's actions are deliberate. He intends to destroy the farmer's hard work and ruin the harvest. The workers are shocked when they discover the weeds. They rush to the farmer, asking, "Master, didn't you sow good seed in your field? Where did these weeds come from?" Matthew 13:27. The farmer's response is crucial. He knows that uprooting the weeds too early could harm the wheat. The roots are intertwined. He tells his workers to be patient, let both grow together until the harvest. Matthew 13:30. Section 4, Wheat and Weeds, symbols of good and evil. The wheat and the weeds in this parable represent something deeper. They are symbols of the good and evil that coexist in our world. The wheat, strong and resilient, represents those who strive to follow God. They seek to live lives filled with kindness, compassion, and love. The weeds, invasive and destructive, represent the forces of evil that tempt us away from God. They represent selfishness, greed, and hatred. We see this battle between good and evil playing out all around us, in our own hearts, in our communities, and in the world at large. It's a constant struggle, but the parable reminds us that we are not alone in this battle. God is with us, strengthening us and guiding us. Even when surrounded by weeds, we can choose to grow tall and strong, like the wheat. Section 5, a time for patience, allowing growth and separation. The farmer's instruction to his workers is a powerful lesson for us. He tells them to be patient. Don't try to uproot the weeds before their time. Wait for the harvest. This teaches us about God's patience. He sees the evil in the world and he knows it causes pain, but he is patient, allowing time for people to turn to him. He doesn't immediately judge or punish. He gives us all a chance to grow and change. He allows the wheat and the weeds to grow together for a season. This time of growth is essential. It allows us to develop our faith, to learn from our mistakes, and to choose whom we will serve. It's a time for us to draw closer to God, seeking his guidance and strength. The parable reminds us that judgment is not ours to make. God alone knows the hearts of men. He alone can separate the wheat from the weeds. Our role is to trust in his timing and his plan.